You know, every single time I look back at the numbers, I just continue to wonder, how is Jrue Holiday not an all-star in any of the past 2 seasons? Being a key piece, well, the last key piece to a championship roster, averaging 18.3 points, 4.5 rebounds, nearly 7 assists on 1.6 steals, with all NBA level defense. Some may say the best perimeter defender in the NBA, on 50% shooting, 41% from 3 on 4.8 attempts, and 76% from the line. And this is not one of those situations where a player is just extremely stellar on the defensive end but doesn't have too much offensive responsibility like a Mikal Bridges, or if you want to compare positions, like a Rudy Gobert. But Jrue is not in that position. He's a stellar offensive player, and he has a lot of offensive responsibility on Milwaukee Bucks, and even then he's still not put in the defensive player of the year conversation with a Mikal Bridges or a Rudy Gobert. And normally I would say, I guess Giannis is the person on the team that deserves to be in those convos, but if Robert Williams was so high in the defensive player of the year conversation, then Marcus Smart somehow found his way to winning it that fast, then I definitely think that Jrue Holiday and Giannis should have their name in that defensive player of the year convo. But that's neither here nor there. Before I get started, I'd like to talk about a feature that I just recently added to my channel, which is Super Thanks. Super Thanks is a feature that YouTube just added that allows you guys to not only support the channel and me as a creator, but it gives you guys the ability to highlight what you guys want to say to me and maybe questions that you want me to answer or stuff of that nature. It gives you a highlighted comment in the comment section down below. Once you do donate, and whatever you want to say in the next video, I will at the end of it answer a lot of you guys questions, or what do you guys think of my opinion on any single team or whatever is going on in the NBA at that time. So if you guys do want to support the channel in a single way possible, I really appreciate it. All you have to do is hit that button. But again, this is no way trying to force you guys to support the channel at all. Just watching this video is done amazing things for me, so thank you. But let's get on to the video. Now, if I ask you who has the highest plus minus on this Milwaukee Bucks team, who would you say? Normally everybody's mind immediately points to Giannis. I mean, Giannis's regular numbers are insane, his advanced numbers are just as incredible. But no, this season is Jrue Holiday at 6.4 to Giannis's 5.9. Jrue Holiday has been the heart and soul of the Milwaukee Bucks team, while Giannis has been the engine and the top dog that runs things. Jrue Holiday has been the guy that keeps things in line and is the guy that tips them over the cap to be championship contenders. As of right now this year, Jrue Holiday has the highest offensive rating on this team. We already know what he does on defense. He has the second highest net rating. So if you were to sit down and ask me, who do you think is the second best player on this Milwaukee Bucks squad, I wouldn't tell you Chris Middleton. Jrue Holiday impacts winning on both ends to an astronomical level, and he also impacts offense just as much, if not more, than Chris Middleton. And we already know what Jrue does on defense. And this is not to say that Chris Middleton doesn't deserve the all-star votes that he got this season. He definitely deserves it. In my mind, I would think the Milwaukee Bucks probably deserve 3 all-stars in the all-star game this year with just how well these 3 play. And even now, when you look into the playoffs, there's a reason why the Milwaukee Bucks have been able to go 3-1 and win 2 games without Chris Middleton. And that's simply because Jrue Holiday has been able to step up in that offensive role that he's been given. The numbers don't jump off you off the page. 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6.3 assists, 1 steal per game on 43% shooting and 41% from 3. He's still a plus 13 when he's on the floor, only behind Giannis's plus 17. That should show you the level of impact Jrue Holiday has on the court at all times, while giving you an elite defense. And outside of that game 2 explosion where DeMar was hitting, let's face it, a lot of tough shots, Jrue was keeping him relatively quiet for the rest of this series, playing some immaculate defense. And even then, when you put his numbers up against certain people that made the all-star team, and you add on to the fact that they are a championship contender, it starts to look really bleak for anybody else compared to him, and you wonder why he doesn't get the recognition he deserves for being as good as he is, for how long he's been good also. So about 2 weeks ago, I made a Milwaukee Bucks video talking about why I think they're still the best team in the Eastern Conference. A lot of Milwaukee Bucks fans seem to love that video, so if you like it or you want to see it, it's right here. But in that video, I gave some on-off numbers for Jrue Holiday with and without Chris Middleton on it. I got them from Thinking Basketball. It's a great basketball podcast. And here are those numbers right now. On court, without Chris Middleton and Giannis on the floor, Jrue Holiday plays 390 minutes, and per 75 possessions, that's about what would equate to a full NBA game without them. But in those minutes without them, Jrue Holiday is averaging 32.1 points per game per 75 possessions and 9.6 assists. With Giannis on the floor without Chris, he's averaging 17 points per game and 7.3 assists. With Chris and without Giannis on the floor, he's played 421 minutes and he averages 21.4 points per game and 7.6 assists. And then with both of them on the floor, per 75, he's averaging about 15.2 points per game and 5.9 assists. That just shows you not only how well he can play, not only by himself, he can carry you for minutes by himself, but he meshes so well and he knows when to step back when certain players on the floor say they can flourish and be as good as they can be, and mesh well with just almost any player in this league. I always said that he's the ultimate Swiss Army knife, and the fact that you put him on any team and you can mesh him with almost any single star, and if Jrue Holiday is not able to really work on your team is probably the problem. And I think the numbers that captures that the most for this Milwaukee Bucks team is when all three of them are on the court at the same time. Jrue Holiday, Giannis, and Chris Middleton are a plus 11 and has a 122 net rating. With just Jrue and Chris without Giannis on the floor, they're plus 6.7 with 122.5 offensive rating. Their defensive rating does plummet though. And then with Giannis and Jrue on the court, they have a 10.7 net rating, and that defensive rating not only shoots back up, but the offensive rating again stays around the 122 mark, showing that again Jrue Holiday's ability to not only switch up how he plays, but to mesh with almost any single star on this team and be the guy that tips them over the scale in almost every single lineup is just absolutely amazing. And he does deserve a lot more recognition for how well he has played, in the NBA, just how good he's been for years, not only on the offensive end but the defensive end. And I do think that he deserved to be an all-star this year, and he's one of the most underrated players in the NBA. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think Jrue Holiday is the most underrated player in the NBA? If not, who else? But that being said, this is FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.